The use of the detail view and the list control is fairly straightforward. So here we have I've just wrapped this in a panel navigator and a panel card, and I've got a list here. I'm looking at the some SQL data customers list, and now I'm going after, what is it, half a dozen fields or so. These are all my fields. That's fine. Here are the properties. And in the list layout, I'm only showing the customer ID, last name, and company. I'm not showing anything else. Now, here we have detail view. Now, when I turn that off, you'll see that the tab disappears for detail view. So let's turn this on. Now we've got a tab for detail view, and we click into detail view. We've got a choice here. You can either do this by a field map yourself, or you can do this by a container. So I'll go through both methods. Right now I'm using a container, so you've pretty much got to set this up first, or get in here and understand what's going on and then go and set it up. But what this means is that if you read here, options are field map. You define an explicit map that defines each UX control and the corresponding fields, or container, where you specify the name of a container control and all the UX controls in that container with the same name as the fields in the list are automatically populated. So this is kind of an automated way to do it, whereas the field map, you have to kind of do things yourself. But here we have our container, and here we have a field. It's just text box field for each one of the fields in my list control. Not only the ones that are being displayed, but also the ones that are not being displayed. But they are coming in from the list. So we do have the data. So I've got a container. I created a container. I populated it with all the fields that I'm interested in, and back into our detail view tab here, I specify the container and the container too, so that's fine. So now when we go and rerun this, what we've got is our list, and now when I click on my first item, the container slides into view, and there's my information. I go back to the customer list, and I can click on Messner and get Messner and on Rebo and that sort of thing. So that's the container. Now, if you didn't want to use the container, what I'm going to do is just take these fields and I'm going to slide them up into panel card number 2. There we go. So now they're in panel card number 2, not inside a container. Let's go back into our list, detail view, map our fields. I'd already done this, so these are already mapped. But if I unmap them, unmap, and just go through this process. So then when you get in here, of course that's not bolded now. So this is what it looks like when you first get in, and you can just you can do an auto map. If they're all the same name, that's fine, it'll find them. Otherwise, just double click, and these are the target controls. So these are these controls down here you've got over here, and just pick one at a time if they're not the same names. So then those maps, that's mapped. We've chosen field map, and we'll go through and preview again. And this time it looks, we'll have a look at that. Sorry, I just had that going to the wrong panel card. So here we've got, I didn't show you this part either anyway. So on the list control, more events, on tap or on click, whatever you want to use, you need to do a panel set active to the panel card that contains your detail view controls. So I was going to 3, but I had moved them all out, so now I'm just going to go to 2. Of course, that's what moves everything over. Preview, and we'll go to Peabody, and that's my panel card 2 that I'm going to now. Messner, and that's all information. So that's how you use the detail view. Very handy stuff. Thanks for having a look.